Hello everyone, welcome back. In our previous video, we presented to you Dr. Sharma's some of his scientific achievements. Today, we will continue narrating his life story and talk to you about the fateful event in which a revolutionary distinguished professor of biochemistry and molecular biology, for one subscript typo error, was charged with scientific misconduct. His professional career was ruined, his family life was destroyed, and the whole saga was a plot between a Cleveland Clinic Foundation, a congressman of the United States. Dr. Sharma, could you please kindly give us background for this sad saga of your life?
This will be the factual narration of an evil saga that occurred between April 22, 1988 and August 6, 1993. A conspiratorial plot between an elite health foundation, 3 USA government agencies, and a congressman was constructed. A revolutionary distinguished professor of biochemistry and molecular biology for a subscript typo was falsely charged with the scientific misconduct. His professional life was ruined, yet to date none of these agencies have accepted accountability.
Could you please give us a brief background for this saga?
Yes. Academically, through the years 1973 to 1987, in the University of Tennessee, Center for the Health Sciences in Memphis, I had risen from the rank of Assistant Professor of Biochemistry to the tenured Distinguished Professor of Biochemistry and Physiology. I had a spacious laboratory of about 2,800 square feet, a scholarly research group of 16 constituting doctoral, postdoctoral, and graduate students representing multiple regions of the USA and of the world. I was generously funded with the merit awards from the Veterans Administration Hospital, 2 grants from National Institutes of Health, National Science Foundation, Damon Runyon Walter Winchell Cancer Fund, and multiple local agencies, including the local Cancer Society, amounting to about $3 million. I was hosting and being hosted by multiple prestigious universities and scientific organizations all over the world as a plenary speaker to explain the biochemical, physiological, and molecular properties of a newly funded 7-limbed cellular membrane guanylate cyclase signal transcription pathway. Significantly, the limb 1 of the pathway controlled the processes of steroidogenesis, and every heartbeat regulated blood pressure, transducing the signals of the adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH and of the atrial natriuretic factor ANF, as shown in video 1. Personally, I was happy. I owned my first home and a plot of 1-acre farm land in the scenic suburb of Memphis, Bartlett, and was raising my family with my sportive, beautiful wife, Joan. Notably, my wife, Joan, was a cancer survivor from the year 1985, diagnosed with breast carcinoma yet was happily adjusting to the new lifestyle. All this changed when I moved to the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, Cleveland, Ohio.
Why did you move to Cleveland Clinic?
About late September 1987, I received a phone call from Dr. Mahesh Khosla, a senior member of the Brain and Vascular Research Department of the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. He was one of the audience at my 1996 plenary lecture in Santa Barbara, California, and wanted me to present our work on the newly discovered multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase cellular signaling pathway linked with heart and hypertension in the Cleveland Clinic. I agreed. I delivered the lecture around October 1987. Subsequently, during dinner with his departmental staff, Dr. Carlos M. Ferrario, departmental head of the Brain and Vascular Research, inquired about the possibility of moving my research group to the Cleveland Clinic. Next day, a meeting was arranged where Dr. Bernardine Healy, the chief of the Cleveland Clinic Foundation Research Division, was present. I would be given the full staff title, and under my leadership, the Cleveland Clinic will create, equip, and fund the state-of-the-art spacious unit of the regulatory biology. The unit will be autonomous, yet will collaborate and support research activities of not only the Brain and Vascular Department, but also of the other Cleveland Clinic departments. The same day, I met with the head of the Human Resources Department to discuss the financial benefits. First, I will receive 50% raise in my current salary at the University of Tennessee. Second, I will be provided all the benefits from the rewarding Cleveland Clinic tailored financial retirement and health packages without any of my contributions. And third, most important, I leave the legacy, laying foundation of a new learning center on the field of multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase signal transduction. This was a lucrative, adventurous offer. Significantly, at the same time, Dr. Ferrario's National Institute of Health funded program project grant was up for renewal. He was keen on the inclusion of our innovative studies on the multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase in this project. He considered the study revolutionary in changing the fields of heart and hypertension. Atrial natriuretic forward factor hormone secreted in the right atria of the heart through the multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase controlled every heartbeat changing blood pressure in the humans. This was the nature-designed physiological mechanism that existed 250 million years ago in the insects and plants, and then transcending animals, bonding the three nature's kingdoms. After my arrival in Memphis and discussion with my wife and children, along with the members of my research group, I decided to accept the Cleveland Clinic offer and looked forward to the move to Cleveland.
Given all the facts, I guess the move must have been very taxing.
Yes, a lot of hurdles had to be overcome. First, it dealt with the whole family, my wife, Joan, and the teenaged children. They were comfortably settled in the school they liked. Then it involved selling our house and farmland. where we went on the weekends to relax and enjoy, including a dip in the pool and sight of wild birds and deer running around. Second, it involved my laboratory that was fully funded and running at the peak of its scientific activity. Third, most importantly, it would affect the lives of the extremely competent, cohesive scholars that were the backbone of our research. On April 22, 1988, I relocated from the Department of Physiology, the Health Science Center, University of Tennessee, Memphis, to the Cleveland Clinic. The laboratory and majority of my staff moved to Cleveland in July 1988. The staff members were doctors Theresa Duda, Ravi Malla, Stephen Chalberg, and Miss Janet Ryan. Dr. Gypsy Majumdar accepted a position at the VA Medical Career Center in Memphis in June 1988. Dr. Ramakant Jaiswal moved in March 1989. Notably, from my gift fund that I left behind, Dr. Jaiswal was paid to support his family and to raise the polyclonal rabbit antibodies against protein kinase C, a part of the multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase project.
You were promised a lot. Did all the promises come true?
I'm afraid, no, not at all. Almost all the commitments made by the Cleveland Clinic were negated. The laboratory was half the space I occupied in Memphis, 1,500 square feet versus 2,800 square feet. In contrast to Memphis, it was located in the basement with no outside view. And on December 27, 1989, when confronted, Dr. Ferrario instructs his administrator, Mr. Murray, to withdraw even the minimal departmental support to the section of regulatory biology. On April 2, 1990, accompanied by his administrators, Dr. Baer and Mr. Murray, Dr. Ferrario puts me and my wife Joan on notice. No reason stated. Without any financial reward, Joan was helping me in my office work, mostly typing my papers and grants. Similarly, on April 13, 1990, Dr. Ferrario threatens me, saying, "I will hold no punches in getting you if you cross me." Thereby, Dr. Ferrario not only used my academic credentials in the reward of his program project grant, he also threatened and defamed me professionally. Given the facts that the administrators, Mr. Baer and Mr. Murray, represented the Cleveland Clinic Research Division administration, I felt lost and suspected that there was a conspiracy. The Cleveland Clinic got what it needed. I was now expendable. The feeling was soon confirmed. On June 12, 1990, a meeting was held in the office of the Cleveland Clinic Professional Staff Affairs. Present were its key administrators: Dr. Rolf Stephan, Chief of Staff; Bernard and Healy, Divisional Chairman; Ameya Banerjee, Division Vice Chairman; Carlos Ferrario, Department Chairman, and myself. At the meeting, Dr. Stephan informed me that on the recommendation of Dr. Ferrario, my contract would not be renewed. Also gone was the beneficial Cleveland Clinic Foundation tailored retirement contract. Stunned, I just murmured, without due process. It was a fatal blow. The Cleveland Clinic had ruined me, professionally and financially. Instantly, I have become homeless. Significantly, upon joining Cleveland Clinic Foundation, I had cancelled my University of Tennessee retirement plans of TIAA and CREF. Now I had no financial security. The future that once kindled was no more. I was blemished and never recovered. I thought all what I achieved after leaving India and my parents in the 1960s, my tenured professorship and bright academic future at the University of Tennessee has vanished. Additionally, how would I narrate this dark episode to my family? My wife was just recovering from cancer. She was rearranging the new house bought in the scenic suburb of Cleveland, Solon. The children were only beginning to adjust in the new school. Similarly, I felt that I had let my research team fellows down. How would I deal with them? Now they would have to carve their own way.
Create.
Dr. Sharma, when did you find out the cause of the Cleveland Clinic Inhuman Act? And at that moment, how did you respond?
Only after June 12, 1990, after I had been fired. As stated before, I murmured, no due process.
Then, when did you know that there was an orchestrated conspiracy behind this action?
The complete factual details emerged only on December 21, 1992, upon receiving a faxed copy of the letter from Miss Herman, a journalist of the Washington Post. Yet, I had a feeling about that in bits and pieces.
Would you elaborate, please?
Yet untold, it is immensely painful, evil saga. Now, at the age of 88, suffering from the loss of my wife, inflicted with stroke, cancer, and neuropathy, I will painfully try to narrate it. The complete true picture emerged only in 1993 when several US government documents, 4 appendices to the confidential reports of OSIR and the appeals court decision of Dr. Rameshwar K. Sharma versus USA, DAB number 1431, 1993. The documents demonstrate that close alliance existed between the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, 3 federal USA government agencies, Office of Scientific Integrity, Office of Scientific Integrity Review, and Office of Research Integrity. Sequentially, the saga has 2 parts. It originated and was triggered by the Cleveland Clinic Foundation and was accomplished by the stewardship of Mr. John Dingell, the Democrat congressman. I will recount now these 2 parts, starting with Cleveland Clinic Foundation. With the objective to successfully renew his National Institutes of Health Program project grant and then steal the multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase cellular signal transduction pathway project. Dr. Ferrario ignites a cunning plot in which the administration of the Cleveland Clinic becomes a co-conspirator. Dr. Ferrario acts through two of my research team members, Doctors Stephen Chalberg and Ramakant Jaswal. He bribes them with a promise to move to his department and advance professionally. 3 of my NIH grants, 2 funded and 1 unfunded, and another funded NSF grant are made available by Dr. Ferrario to Doctors Chalberg and Jaswal, violating their material confidentiality. Externally, Dr. Chalberg is provided a computer code for my office. There he forges a subscript typographical error in one or all of the applications. This subscript typographical error is then used by Dr. Ferrario to charge me for the scientific misconduct. Similarly, Dr. Jaswal is made to find a fake statement in the grants about my possession of an antibody that I did not have. The fact is, he lied. It was his duty to make the antibody, and he had made the antibody. On May 8, 1990, through these false allegations, Dr. Ferrario charged me for the scientific misconduct to the Cleveland Clinic Foundation administration. It triggered this evil act. On June 12, 1990, the Cleveland Clinic Foundation Administrative Director, Dr. Stephen, in the presence and after consultation with the administrative staff that includes Dr. Ferrario, fires me for the subscript typo error and non-possession of the protein kinase antibody.
As painful as it has to be, could you please recount the events?
In an extraordinary, bizarre action, after June 12, 1990, the Cleveland Clinic Foundation continues its scientific misconduct investigations. In all 4 applications, it only found the subscript typo error and concluded no scientific misconduct. Yet, it did neither revoke the termination nor cleared my reputation. As the consequences, an innocent man, including his family, were irreparably damaged. Also, progress of the revolutionary discovery of the single life-sustaining molecule, multi-limbed membrane guanylate cyclase, was delayed. To date, the unanswered issue is why this saga did not finish with the Cleveland Clinic Foundation action. Was it to inflict more pain on me?
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for sharing with us this part of your story. We are looking forward to continuation of this story in the next video, video number 3.
Thank you.